Today's Wednesday webinar, Design Beautiful Pages in Canvas. My name is Lisa Kidder, and joining me for this presentation are Randall and Rick Fowler. And today we're going to demonstrate how visual design and using CidiLabs tools can enhance online learning experiences. So today we're going to talk about what CidiLabs is, the impact of course visual design. We're going to show you some examples from drab to fab, and some visual design best practices, and invite you to explore and learn. And of course, there will be questions and answers at the end. So what is CidiLabs? So it actually is 3 tools. It includes pre-built page templates that make it easy for you to reformat a page. It is also customizable, so you can build individual pieces. So the templates are modular, and it has the accessibility tools integrated into it. So as you work with the DesignPlus tool, it will tell you things like your color contrast is not sufficiently high. You might want to think of a different color. It will also guide you in the creation of appropriate headings and such. And it's automatically branded. So we've built in ISU colors. We put in the basics, and we're working to provide some other options to work within the ISU branding. Visual design is important. It can actually help reduce the cognitive processing. So as we organize things, just a paragraph compared to a bulleted list is easier to follow. So it helps remove unnecessary things for students and helps them focus on the content. When your pages look good, it improves credibility. So we've all been to a website where you go on and you're like, this is suspect. And others you're like, ooh, this is really slick. I think I'd like to be here. So that credibility comes in there. It gives a professional look. So this is a tool that we have worked to add so that you can have that professionalism. When something looks good and you have that visual design, it also can increase motivation and engagement. It pulls students in. So these are kind of just the impacts of visual design. And so next, Ryan is going to show us some examples.
So here you can see a couple of before and after images. On the left is the more plain visual design. On the right, it's been augmented with the tools from DesignPlus. And this is a really good example of how the better visual design on the right reduces some of the irrelevant cognitive processing. On the right, students or learners will be steered towards the hierarchy of information. So there's the little blue and orange vertical bars on the left that sort of are just, this is an information call out box. It sort of suggests that to the student, this is what this chunk of text is meant to do. And the down towards the bottom, there's actionable expanding elements. You might think of them as accordions or something. Those are going to help students progress clearly through the course and help them not be distracted by other words or other information on the page as they do that. So it helps really emphasize both the navigation for them, as well as help them focus most clearly on the content that you want them to engage with at a certain point in time. It also includes more eye-catching designs, like, as I was saying, those colors, but also it has headings for the different sections, those expanding elements, and it also has a few icons mixed in. So these are some of the different niceties that are not just sort of icing on the cake, but they actually do help students focus and progress through a course. Another example, similarly, is where on the right, the design has been augmented. And so there's some sectioning that being done on the left where you can see with the different colors with the text, but on the right, you can see it more clearly breaks it down into steps with the bolder heading. And it also has the little icon that helps differentiate each component of the context there. And finally, with this before and after, this one really helps students understand what's to be done next. So the activities, you can see On the right, below a sort of segment line, you can see that there's tabs for the different modules, so they can clearly progress without having to scroll all the way down, as you can imagine they would have to do on the left, keep scrolling down this activities page until they finally get to module 3. Instead, on the right, they can just click on that modules 3 tab and jump straight there. So this sort of better design using these DesignPlus tools will help increase learner motivation and engagement. And up next, Rick is going to tell us more about the visual design best practices.
So some visual design best practices that you can use. The first one is building a solid foundation, and you can make sure that in your course that your content aligns with the learning objectives. So as you're setting things up, everything's going to be aligning correctly, and that's going to make learning easier for your students. The second one, maintain consistency using templates that you can create in CidiLabs. And we are in the process of creating some of these templates. And if there are specific things you would like as a department or individual courses, we could work with you. We have a few students that we've got to work with some design, so we could create templates for you in your course to make sure everything's consistent. Make sure you're using uniform color schemes, fonts, and layouts to make everything the same throughout your course. Another thing you can do is optimize for clarity and navigation. In the previous image that Ryan showed us, you can organize content with clear headings, subheadings, and bullet points. This makes it easier for students to follow along, and it makes it more user-friendly. Continued, use a visual hierarchy so you can emphasize important content with size, color, and placement. This makes it easier for the students to learn and see as they go through. Incorporate media. If you're going along and you want to incorporate things like images, videos, infographics, in Moodle, this can be difficult to do sometimes. The images don't necessarily align with text very well. CidiPlus makes it really easy to get those into your text so that things align, look a bit more professional, and students can see these things where they need to see it. Finally, you can prioritize accessibility. CidiLabs includes a lot of accessibility features, like Lisa mentioned earlier. You can make sure your colors work and that everything is WCAG WCAG compliant with, and you can also not have to worry about sacrificing beauty at the same time. Call to action. We have the option to explore CidiLab tools. So if you have a course set up, a sandbox course in Canvas, you can actually import and enroll. We jumped a little step on this. Enroll in ISU from drab to fab training. We don't have this quite set up right now, but you can import Indiana University's version right now and start playing with that. And hopefully in the next month or two, we will have our version complete with the templates created so that you can start messing around with that and playing around to figure things out. Do we have any questions?
We have lots of places where you can learn more. There is that QR code on the screen if you have your phone handy. It will take you to these slides. We have Tiger Tracks articles where we're constantly building and rebuilding. This is recorded, as well as all of the previous Wednesday webinars have been recorded, and you can find those in the ITRC training video library. And continue to watch for more Wednesday webinars. That is a link to the schedule, and we will keep putting them in the ISU Today. You can always reach out to us. itrc@isu.edu is the best email. It goes to all of us so that the best person can get your answer to you. You're welcome to stop by or give us a call, and you can always make an appointment with us. We're happy to meet with you via Zoom, on the phone, or in person. This link, you find a time that works for you, and then we can meet with you. Watch for Idaho State Today for upcoming Wednesday webinars, other announcements. There is a link at the bottom of every Idaho State Today to the Canvas Transition website, which you will want to check out and make sure that you're aware of the information on there. That's also the link to where you can access Canvas as a faculty right now. That website will continue to update and grow, so we encourage you to visit there often and bookmark it. Thank you so much.